Oh, just like that, we are back to having terrible lighting. Hello, my name is Maddie or Books with Maddie, and today I'm going to be showing you my most anticipated books coming out in 2022. Okay, I have never really done a video like this because I usually don't keep up with books that are coming out, but I decided this year to kind of take a gander at what books are coming out in 2022 because there were a couple that I was really highly anticipating and kind of making a list of all the books I'm anticipating in 2022. And today I'm going to be sharing that list with you, and I'm really excited because I feel like 2022 is going to be a really good year for books. Like, just got a feeling about this year. Ninth House 2. I feel it. I feel it, guys. It's coming this year. I don't know if y'all saw, but Elena Armas put something on her story that was like big news coming late January or something like that. I'll put the picture here because I have a screenshot of it for evidence. If it's like just a Shadow and Bone season 2 announcement, like, I'll be excited, but like, I want Ninth House 2. And we already know season 2 is coming. Like, if it's literally just like, oh, we know the date it's coming, like, I don't want that. I want Ninth House. So yeah, that's my anticipated book of 2022 is Ninth House 2, and if it doesn't come out, I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue Elena Armas for emotional damage. So I'm just going to go through this list and tell you a little bit about the books that I'm excited for, and you should tell me the books that you're excited for in the comments below, and let me know some other book releases that I might have missed in this video because I would love to keep growing this list. And also, I have a bookshelf on Goodreads which should have all of these books on it. You can check that out if you want these all in one place. I'm just gonna start. I think I'm gonna try to categorize these as best as possible because, like, by genre, because I have a lot of romance. So I'm just gonna start with romance and then go from there. So first we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This is a romance, which we already know. I don't know if I should just read the direct synopsis to you. Should I synopsize the synopsis? So Emily Henry wrote Beach Read and People Being on Vacation, two of my favorite romances of all time. So I'm really excited for her next book. This book follows Nora, who is a cutthroat. Oh my gosh, my dog. Book Lovers follows Nora, who is a cutthroat literary agent who goes on a sister's trip with her sister to a small town in North Carolina where she keeps running into her rival Charlie, who is a literary editor who's kind of like rough around the edges, and they keep running into each other through a series of coincidences, and then the unexpected happens. I am obsessed with this concept. I am so excited for this book. I'm debating whether to request an arc from NetGalley and inevitably get my heart crushed when they don't give it to me. I've seen people reviewing this, literally have only seen 5-star reviews of this book. Like, I am so freaking excited for this book. It is coming out May 3rd, which is too far away, but I am so excited for it. Next, we have the 2022 Christina Lauren release, Something Wilder. This is coming out May 17th. May is gonna be a big month for romance. This is Christina Lauren's new romance novel, and it features a treasure hunt, which is so unique and so exciting. So the main character, Lily, is a tour guide for a treasure hunt hike situation. On one of her tour hikes, she runs into, I believe it's her ex-boyfriend, Leo, and his crew of friends, and they end up she's hates him obviously because he broke her heart, and they kind of end up reconnecting through this treasure hunt situation, which just sounds so fun, and I'm so excited. I don't know that Christina Lauren has written a second chance romance. I don't know, there's still a couple of their books that I haven't read, so they could have, but from what I've read so far, they have not written a second chance romance, which seems to be kind of a re-emerging trope. So I'm pretty excited for it. I don't know how much I like that trope yet, but I'm excited to see how Christina Lauren does it. Next, I'm excited for Hookline and Singer by Tessa Bailey. This is the sequel to It Happened One Summer. It is the Bellinger sisters. I believe it's probably just a duology because there's only 2 sisters, but the first book, It Happened One Summer, followed Piper, and the second one, Hookline and Sinker, which is coming out March 1st. It follows Hannah, who is Piper's sister, and Fox, who was in the first book. He was Brendan, who was the main male character in It Happened One Summer. His friend Fox and Hannah, Piper's sister, are the main characters of this book, and I don't know too much about what, like, where this goes. Like, I'm assuming it's, like, obviously romance, but, like, I don't know the, like, plot line of it or anything. I don't really want to know. I kind of want to go into this blind, but I know that they had some kind of, like, shared chemistry and some shared interests over music and stuff in the first book, so I'm excited to see how that evolves. Okay, next anticipated read is I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. Casey McQuiston also wrote Red, White, and Royal Blue and One Last Stop. This is their newest novel. It is coming out May 3rd, another big release. This one, the synopsis, is the most exciting to me out of their 3 novels. I loved Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I loved One Last Stop, but neither were quite 5 stars for me, and I think this one has the most potential. The plot of this one is basically that the main character, Chloe, is, like, really academically competitive, and she wants the spot for valedictorian, but she's competing against Shara Wheeler, who is, like, prom queen, prodigy, all, like, everything, like, winner, everything. But a week before, I believe it's a week before the end, a month before graduation, a month before graduation, Shara kisses Chloe and then disappears, and Chloe finds out that Shara also kissed 2 other people. I think it was her neighbor and maybe her ex-boyfriend or something like that, and then disappeared, but she left, like, these cryptic notes, and they have to try to decipher the notes and find Shara Wheeler, and they also find out secrets about the town. It's giving me, like, Pretty Little Liars vibes, which is, like, kind of everything. I'm, like, really excited. This just sounds, like, really dramatic and really fun and just, like, very, very cool. I'm so excited for it. This feels, like, so unlike anything that Casey McQuiston has written before, so I'm very excited. Like, Casey McQuiston really, like, just comes out of left field with the most unique premises for a book ever, and I'm so excited to pick this one up when it comes out. The next one is Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Rachel Lynn Solomon wrote The X-Talk. I almost said The X-Talk, which I absolutely loved, and I was obsessed with it. Weather Girl follows a woman named Ari, who I believe is a meteorologist, a TV meteorologist, and she really wants to be mentored and to do better at her job, but her boss is too, like, enthralled in her relationship with her ex-husband, which is, like, just, like, taking over her life, kind of. And so Ari teams up with the sports reporter, Russell, and they try to kind of nudge the couple back together. I believe also the ex-husband is the station's news director. So both the weather woman, Torrance, who is Ari's mentor, and Torrance's ex-husband work at the news station, and so they're, like, causing all kinds of chaos. And so Ari and Russell try to get them to reconnect, kind of, which reminds me of The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren, and then they end up forming a little chemistry situation. This book is coming out January 11th. That is so soon. I am so excited. I'm going to pick it up the day it comes out. I'm literally so excited for it. The cover is literally everything. I'm just so hyped for this book. Next we're going to talk about just, like, Elly Hazelwood because she is doing something, I don't know what it is, this year. Well, I know, okay, so the sequel to The Love Hypothesis is coming out August 23rd, 2022. And, oh, it does have a synopsis! Oh my gosh, hang on. I'm just seeing the synopsis right now. Give me a second. Okay, so this is confusing to me. Everything Elly Hazelwood is doing this year is confusing to me. This is the sequel to The Love Hypothesis, but I'm not seeing anything about the characters in The Love Hypothesis in the synopsis, so I don't know how it's a sequel, but, like, I'm rolling with it. I'm still gonna read it. Basically, from what I'm gathered from the synopsis, the main character, B, is a graduate student, STEM situation, don't know the words for science or math or anything, but she works in a lab with her arch enemy, Levi, don't know which one it is, and all of a sudden she starts running into all this trouble where her equipment is being stolen and everything seems to be going wrong, and she notices Levi starts, like, backing her up and, like, helping her out. She's like, why is this happening? And that seems to be the synopsis. My eyeball has something in it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm going blind. Oh my gosh. Alright, I am fine. There's definitely something still in my eye, but, like, I gotta keep going. Okay. It seems fun. It seems interesting. I'm excited for it, and I will read anything Elly Hazelwood writes. But also Elly Hazelwood seems to be coming out with, like, 3 other things this year. So there's something called Loathe to Love You. Oh, it's an anthology of connected STEMinist, like feminist, but STEMinist rom-coms following the stories of three best friends who learn that when it comes to love and science, opposites attract and rivals make you burn. So, okay, so I'm wondering if this is the collection of these stories that she's writing. So there are 3, so that makes sense. So they're all going to be put into one. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So I'll read you a brief synopsis of each of the short stories. So the first one is coming out May 3rd. It's called Under One Roof. Okay, so it seems like it's forced proximity. Mara and Liam are forced to share a dorm room or something together. I don't really know, but they're both like scientists and engineers, and it's just a short novella about, seems like forced proximity. Okay, fun, love to see it. The next one is coming out June 7th. It's called Stuck With You. This one is, seems like just enemies to lovers situation. I'm kind of skimming through these. Oh, they get stuck in an elevator together, and he broke her heart. Okay, second chance romance themes and forced proximity. And then the last one is called, wait, no, that one was Stuck With You. Okay, the last one is coming out July 5th, and it's called Below Zero. A NASA aerospace engineer found herself injured and stranded at a remote Arctic research station, but one person willing to undertake the hazardous rescue mission is her longtime rival. Okay, that one, whoa. Okay, that one got me. And then it seems like they're going to be compiled into that collection called Loathe to Love You. So, and that one, I'm guessing the collection will come out after the July 5th one is released. Okay, that's everything Elly Hazelwood. Very excited for everything that she's doing. Huge fan of her. Okay, next we're going to talk about the love of my life, Talia Hibbert. Okay, so it seems like Talia Hibbert is coming out with 2 new books this year. I'm going to explode from happiness when these come out. So the first one seems to be this Skybriar book that has been on Goodreads for a while now, and okay, I'm freaking out. Skybriar is the location which the 3rd book in the Brown Sisters trilogy takes place. So I'm guessing that series will follow some of the side characters that happened in Act Your Age, Eve Brown. It's untitled thus far. There is no synopsis, and it doesn't have a release date. But I'm still excited. I'm still here for it, and I'm still ready and waiting. Okay, and the next one that seems to be coming out in 2022 is called Highly Suspicious, Unfairly Cute. Also no synopsis, also no publishing date, but it is by a different publisher than she usually publishes with, which I'm curious about. Don't know why that is, but I am so hyped for her new books. I will read anything she ever writes ever, and yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about those ones because there's literally no information about them. But just like, everybody get ready, like just everybody get prepared for these books, because like, if you haven't read the Brown Sisters trilogy, you need to do that. Get on that. Here's my daily plug for Talia Hibbert. Read the Brown Sisters trilogy. Next, we have The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. Elena Armas wrote The Spanish Love Deception. I believe this is a sequel to The Spanish Love Deception. It doesn't say that on Goodreads, but the only synopsis available for this one, and also no publishing date, is this is Rosie's story, a roommate's slow burn multicultural romance. I think there is a character named Rosie in the Spanish Love Deception, and I'm guessing, because it says this is Rosie's story, like we should know who Rosie is. So it seems like, I don't remember any character's name literally ever, so like let me know if that was a character in the Spanish Love Deception. Because like people who are like writing like comments are like, I'm so excited to see what Elena does with Rosie's book. So it seems like Rosie's a character that I should be familiar with. So it seems like this is a sequel to, or like a spin-off kind of the Spanish Love Deception, which I'm super excited for. Roommates, slow burn, multicultural romance. Love to see it. And I believe this is the last romance. I haven't heard anybody talking about this one. I can't remember how I found it, but it's called Lockdown on London Lane by Beth Reekles. I have not read from Beth Reekles before. I don't even know. Okay, oh no! She wrote the kissing booth. She wrote the kissing booth. I'm freaking out. Oh my gosh. No. No. I don't know how to feel about this. She wrote the kissing booth. I'm freaking out. I'm probably still gonna read it, but that is insane to me. Okay, so this is actually a short story collection about an apartment complex, and I believe the apartment complex, imposes a 7-day quarantine on the apartment, and so each story follows a different like apartment in the apartment building and the stories of the people who are in that apartment building. And so it's not like totally a romance, I guess. There's like a bridesmaids party. There's a debate over pineapple on pizza ignites a series of revelations about Zach and Zach and Serena's 4-year relationship. There's a new romance and a one-night stand. So I guess a lot of them are romancy, but it seems like a couple others are like friendships. I'm excited for that. Like, that sounds really, cause like I'm ready for all the quarantine romances that are gonna come out that have forced proximity. Like, I'm anticipating that. Like, I specifically want Christina Lauren to write a forced proximity quarantine romance, and I stand by that opinion. And so when I found this, I was like, oh my gosh, the quarantine romance we've all been waiting for. But now it's written by the person who wrote The Kissing Booth. Oh my gosh, that makes me want to die a little bit. I hated The Kissing Booth. I didn't read the book, but I saw the movie and I wanted to die. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is shocking information that I was not prepared to know. But we're just gonna swiftly move on because I don't know what to do with that information. Oh my gosh. Okay, I believe that was the last like romance. The only other one that is kind of a romance, this book called Anatomy, a Love Story by Dana Schwartz. I'm obsessed with this cover. I'm obsessed with this cover. Okay. I am honestly just now realizing that the cover is a woman sitting on the ground and it's a dress, and I don't love it as much, but it's okay. So this is a historical fiction novel. It takes place in Edinburgh, is that how you pronounce it? I think. 1817. And, okay, so there's two main characters, Hazel and Jack. Whenever there's a book with the main character named Hazel, I think that's a guarantee that I'm gonna like it. I don't think I've ever not liked a book where the main character has been named Hazel. Hazel Grace. I didn't love The Fault in Our Stars. Oh, my theory. It's fine. Okay, so basically Hazel Sinnott is a lady who wants to be a surgeon more than she wants to marry, and Jack Kerr is a resurrection man who's just trying to survive in a city where it's too easy to die. They have a chance encounter outside of Edinburgh's Anatomist Society, and then she gets kicked out of a lecture for being the wrong gender, and then she makes a deal with some kind of doctor where if she can pass the medical examination on her own, the university will allow her to enroll. And then I believe she ends up working with Jack to study bodies, and also they have uncover some kind of secrets. I'm so excited about this book. I'm freaking out. Oh my gosh. January 18th, that's so soon. Oh my gosh, that's so soon. I'm so excited, I'm gonna freak out. That book sounds so freaking amazing. It better be good. I'm gonna freak out if it's not. It has really good reviews so far, so I'm really excited, but like, oh my gosh, does that not sound amazing? And then, okay, another historical fiction, we have I Must Betray You by Ruta Sepetys. You know what I think is really underrated about Ruta Sepetys? Literally nothing, but one of the things that I feel like we don't talk about enough is how amazing her titles are. Like, I Must Betray You. Oh, that's so good. So this is a historical fiction. It takes place in Romania in 1989. Communist regimes are crumbling across Europe. A 17-year-old Christian Florescu dreams of becoming a writer, but Romanians aren't free to dream. There's a tyrannical dictatorship, and Christian is blackmailed by the secret police to become an informer. He's left with two choices: to betray everyone or use his position to creatively underline the most notorious evil dictator in Eastern Europe. And he unmasks the truth behind the regime. Sounds amazing. I need to read more from Ruta Sepetys. I've literally only read Salt to the Sea, but I have like 3 other books from her, and I just need to read them. I'm so nervous that, like, because I loved Salt to the Sea. I was absolutely obsessed with that book. But I'm so nervous that that was just like kind of a one-time situation for me, but I just keep buying her books, so like, I don't know. Okay, so the next I believe are like sci-fi fantasy type of situations. Obviously, Book of Night, Holly Black. This is Holly Black's first adult novel, I believe, of all time. Definitely her first adult fantasy. The cover was just released like a month ago, and I'm obsessed with it. I have not read the synopsis of this yet, so I'm gonna read that to you now. In Charlie Hall's world, shadows can be altered for entertainment and cosmetic preferences, but also to increase power and influence. You can alter someone's feelings and memories, but manipulating shadows has a cost, with the potential to take hours or days from your life. Your shadow holds all the parts of you that you want to keep hidden, a second self standing just to your left, walking behind you into lit rooms, and sometimes it has a life of its own. Charlie is a low-level con artist working as a bartender while trying to distance herself from the powerful and dangerous underground world of shadow trading. She gets by doing odd jobs for her patrons and the naive new money in her town at the edge of the Berkshires. But when a terrible figure from her past returns, Charlie's present life is thrown into chaos, and her future seems at best unclear and at worst non-existent. Determined to survive, Charlie throws herself into a maelstrom of secrets and murder, setting her against a cast of doppelgangers, mercurial billionaires, shadow thieves, and her own sister, all desperate to control the magic of shadows. With sharp angles and prose and a sinister bent, Holly Black is a master of shadow and story stitching. Remember while you read, light isn't playing tricks in books of night, the people are. This is giving me Ninth House, Six of Crows, Serpent and Dove vibes. Also, like This Savage Song vibes, and I'm so here for it. Is not also, that didn't make sense, but I think Victoria Schwab, this isn't on my most anticipated list because I have so many other books from Victoria Schwab that I'm anticipating that I haven't read yet. She's coming out with a new book called Gallant or Gallivant or something like that. I'll put it on the screen, which also has to do with like shadow play, and so I'm interested in how those two books will maybe you know what, I'm really quickly right now adding that to my most anticipated because I want to read both of them and compare them, and I think that'll be fun. Next we have Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. Emily St. John Mandel wrote The Glass Castle and why can't I spell Tranquility? How am I spelling it wrong? How am I spelling it wrong? How am I spelling it wrong? Sea of Tranquility. Okay. She also wrote The Glass Castle and Station 11. This one, so crazy. A moon colony, 1912, 2 timelines. There's a detective, there's a writer. The synopsis of this book like doesn't make sense. Like it's just like sentences that are unconnected, but I'll read it to you. Takes the reader from Vancouver Island in 1912 to a dark colony on the moon 300 years later, unfurling a story of humanity across centuries and space. You know what, I'm just gonna read that part because like that's the only part that makes sense to me. The rest of the synopsis just details like so many different characters and what their role is, and I'm nervous for this book because I feel like I'm too dumb to understand it, but I'm also very highly anticipating it because I'm gonna read it anyway. Next we have Elektra by Jennifer Saint. I have not read from Jennifer Saint before, but I'm obsessed with this cover. I believe she wrote Ariadne, what is it? Ariadne, yeah. And that book was amazing from what I've heard of it, but I never got a chance to read it. This synopsis, it is a ancient Greek kind of situation. A bloodline tainted by a generational cycle of violence and vengeance. Story of 3 women, their fates inextricably tied to this curse and the fickle nature of men and gods. So I'm just so excited for that. I love Greek mythology. Both Elektra and Ariadne are like super high on my TBR. Okay, we're getting into books that I know a little bit less about, but the next one is A Far Wilder Magic by Allison Saft. This seems to be a fantasy romance situation. Okay, so when Margaret Welty spots the legendary Hala, the last living mythical creature, she knows that the half-moon hunt will soon follow. Whoever is able to kill the Hala will earn fame and riches and unlock an ancient magical secret. If Margaret wins the hunt, it may finally bring her mother home. While Margaret is the best sharpshooter in town, only teams of 2 can register, and she needs an alchemist. Western Winters isn't an alchemist yet. Fired from every apprenticeship he landed, his last chance hinges on Master Welty taking him in, but when Wes arrives at Welty Manor, he finds only Margaret and her bloodhound Trouble. Margaret begrudgingly allows him to stay, but on one condition: he must join the hunt with her. They make an unlikely team. They are drawn to each other. Oh, whoa. Tender love story set against a deadly hunt in an atmospheric, rich fantasy world that will sweep you away. That sounds just so fun and amazing. And the cover is beautiful. It's coming out March 8th. All of these are coming out so soon! I'm so excited! Okay, 3 more. So the next one is Jamila Green Ruins Everything by Zarqa Nawaz. Zarqa Nawaz wrote Laughing All the Way to the Mosque, which was in my top 10 books of 2021. I'm just such a fan of Zarqa Nawaz's writing. So the synopsis of this one is Jamila Green has only one wish: to see her memoir on the New York Times bestseller list. When her dream doesn't come true, she seeks spiritual guidance at her local mosque. New imam and recent immigrant Ibrahim Salted is appalled by Jamila's shallowness, but agrees to assist her on one condition: that she perform a good deed. Jamila reluctantly accepts his terms, kicking off a chain of absurd and unfortunate events. When the person the two do-gooders try to help is recruited by a terrorist group called DICK, it's like an acronym, Dominion of the Islamic Caliphate and Kingdoms, the federal authorities become suspicious of Ibrahim, and soon after, the imam mysteriously disappears. Certain that the CIA have captured Ibrahim for interrogation via torture, Jamila decides to set off on a one-woman operation to rescue him. Her quixotic quest soon finds her entangled in an international plan targeting the egomaniacal leader of the terrorist organization, a scheme that puts Jamila and countless others, including her hapless husband and clever but disapproving daughter, at risk. For fans of Where'd You Go, Bernadette and My Sister the Serial Killer, Jamila Green ruins everything in a whip-smart black comedy about the price of success and a biting look at what has gone wrong with American foreign policy in the Middle East. It is compulsively readable yet unexpectedly touching novel about one woman's search for meaning and connection, and about the lengths we go for those we love. This book sounds so fascinating to me. The combination of like political commentary and humor just seems like such a perfect blend, and Zarqa Nawaz is an amazing writer, and I'm so excited to see what she does with this book. And then another one, this one does not have a release date or anything, but it is called And Then I Woke Up by Malcolm Devlin. The synopsis is that it introduces readers to a world reeling from an unusual plague. Monsters now lurk in the streets while terrified survivors arm themselves and roam the countryside in packs, or perhaps something very different is happening. When a disease affects how reality is perceived, it's hard to be certain of anything. Spence is one of the cured living at the Ironside Rehabilitation Facility. Haunted by guilt, he refuses to face the changed world until a new inmate challenges him to help her find her old crew. But if he can't tell the truth from lies, how will he know if he has earned the redemption he dreams of? How will he know he hasn't just made things worse? Pretty short synopsis, pretty unclear about what's going on in this book, but sounds absolutely fascinating. For people who have gotten ARCs, there's already a bunch of 5-star and 4-star reviews, so I am so excited to see everything about this book. It just sounds so fascinating. I don't know anything about the author, Malcolm Devlin, but it sounds so crazy, and so I feel like it just has some kind of underlying commentary about misinformation, fake news, and the pandemic, and I'm so here for that. Okay, and then lastly, I have Wake the Bones by Elizabeth Kilcoyne? I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. This is a YA horror fantasy paranormal situation, and the synopsis is the sleepy little farm that Laurel Early grew up on has awakened. The woods are shifting, the soil is dead under her hands, and her bone pile just stood up and walked away. After dropping out of college, all she wanted was to resume her life as a tobacco hand and taxidermist and try not to think about the boy she can't help but love. Instead, a devil from her past has returned to court her, as he did her late mother years earlier. Now Laurel must unravel her mother's terrifying legacy and tap into her own innate magic before her future and the fate of everyone she loved is doomed. And this is coming out July 12th. That sounds fascinating and chaotic, and I love it. It's giving me Addie LaRue vibes. I don't know why, but I'm so excited for that. And all of the books from this video, I want to do this video more often, maybe quarterly or something, just to keep up with current releases. Let me know what books you are really anticipating in 2022, because I really want to be more updated with current releases this year, and so I really want to know some more ones that are coming out this year so I can add them to my list and check them out when they come out. Other than that, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. We are nearing the end of the 7 days of content at the beginning of January, so thank you so much for sticking with me through this week, and thank you so much for all of your love and support. If you do feel so inclined, please like and subscribe. It really helps out me and my channel. But other than that, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. And I hope you have a great life. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.